Recently, Retro Fighters announced their new Brawler64 Pro on Kickstarter. It's really great looking. Check out our recent videos on it if you haven't seen it. But it got me thinking, you know, I don't hate this controller like a lot of other people do. And in fact, there are other controllers out there I think that are much worse than what this one here is. In no particular order, because I couldn't keep my order straight if I was going to do an order here. These are several controllers I think are definitively worse than the N64 controller. And up first, the Famicom Mini. Now, I'm going to put a caveat on this. I like the original Famicom controller. I think it's fantastic. The problem with these is they're hardwired and they're super short. And they're super tiny too. At least with the NES Classic Edition, we got a proper sized NES style controller. Wii U, Wii U, Wii U, Wii U. Go for Chucks. Let me know down below in the comments if you get that reference. Now I gotta say, playing on the GamePad, just playing remotely, just fine. Having to use this for motion controls or having to reference this for maps or inventory, I absolutely hated. But for a controller, I mean, this actually felt pretty comfortable in the hands, but games like Star Fox Zero, having to use the Wii U GamePad absolutely ruined that game for me. Oh yeah, we're going there. The 3D controller for the Sega Saturn. This to me is just a precursor to the Dreamcast controller, which I also don't like and is on this list. I just don't have one to show off here. I did not like this controller and I hate the Dreamcast. All right, the three at the bottom of my list, you had to know this was coming. First and foremost is the Xbox 360 controllers. I know people love this controller. I am not one of them. For me, I never felt comfortable, especially being a Nintendo fan coming to an Xbox console, the fact that they relabeled the buttons from the way Nintendo did it. Also, the colors, who looks at their controllers when they're playing? Seriously, I hated the D-pads, I hated the analog sticks, I hated the triggers and the bumpers and everything. And the fact that this doesn't have an integrated battery into it. Hated everything about this controller. And I know this is gonna hurt some people's hearts. I would rather use the N64 controller than the S controller or the Duke controller for the original Xbox. Everything I said about the 360 controller, add that onto here, and the fact that you had this white and black button. What the hell were those for? It made no sense to me. Again, Nintendo fan, so throwing that out there. You had the memory card slots, but the Duke was just terrible. I call that thing the puke all the time. The S controller, to me, this is more like the ass controller. Did not like the ergonomics, didn't like the buttons, didn't like the sticks, didn't like the D-pad, didn't like the triggers, didn't like anything about it. And in fact, like I say, I would rather use the N64 controller than the original Xbox controller, the Duke, or the S controller. I know these are some hot takes. These are controllers people love. Not for me. I think the N64 controller is better than each and every one of these. Let me know how crazy you think I am down in the comments.